Hey guys, how is everybody doing? We are back for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also make sure you hit the thumbs up. Okay, that kind of helps with the video. Y'all, we're going to get into this married to medicine mess, okay? Because you guys caught something and you made me go out and kind of research it a little bit. Now, we saw that situation with Quad and Dr. Simone, and I was like, something is just not adding up. But it seems like the show may be canceled because, baby, the ratings are a mess. Like, y'all said what y'all said, and y'all said that y'all were sick of Dr. Heavenly and Quad, and it is simply showing. So, did they establish that whole situation to get the internet talking? Because this show is looking like it may not be coming back.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Now, it seems like that situation with Dr. Simone and Quad may have just been staged because, as I told y'all, I said something is just not adding up. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check out that video. I'm not going to go back into that, but what we were able to see is, Married to Medicine has released their trailer for the reunion. And in one of the trailers, you see Quad and Dr. Simone getting into, look like they was getting ready to have a fight. That's what it looked like. But I was saying, like, something just don't add up, because where did that come from? And if they had all of this smoke, why did we not see it on the episodes? And then, of course, Quad came out saying, yeah, I wonder why, Simone and, the relationship. So Quad kind of told us that she had been having a situation with Simone. And I'm just like, girl, why are we dealing with this now? Like, we would have much rather liked to see you and Simone, Dr. Simone, deal with y'all issue versus this created drama that y'all tried to produce that nobody liked, because y'all, the ratings are going to hell. So before we get into anything, let's get into that, because I hadn't looked at the ratings, but baby, let me just tell you this, they bad. So let me just get into it here. Listen, this is the ratings. I hope y'all can see it, but this is what I did, y'all. I compared their ratings to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, y'all know Real Housewives of Atlanta been gone for, wasn't it like 2 years? Like, it was a long time. But anywho, Real Housewives of Atlanta just basically had their first episode. They only had one episode. Now keep in mind, they had one episode. If you look at their ratings, it says 723,000. Now that's just for this first episode. Is not really reflective of everybody, because we know that people don't watch TV all at the same time. Like now with, how TV is set up, you can watch these shows at any time. Where back in the days, you had to watch them, at a specific time. So the numbers are not a whole indication of who watched the show, but the numbers are extremely important because it does paint a picture. Now look at Married to Medicine. Now this is the episode February 16th, 459,000. That is extremely, extremely low. Now, if we look at some of the higher views, it's when they did the most. Now, keep in mind, the Atlanta show, it was a pretty relaxed show. Nothing too crazy happened, but it just goes to show how Married to Medicine needs to do the absolute most, because if they don't, people won't watch. If you guys recall, Dr. Heavenly told y'all, when they have just the regular episodes, nobody watch. Y'all don't watch. So that means that people just don't like this show the way that they like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. For whatever reason, Married to Medicine does not sit with the viewers the way that Real Housewives of Atlanta does. So what does this mean? It means that this show could possibly be canceled because y'all, they need viewers to be able to bring in the revenue. But with the viewership dying off, what does that mean for this show? Not to mention, y'all been complaining. I mean, complaining. I have read so many comments of people saying, I don't even watch the show anymore because of Dr. Heavenly and Quad were the number two people that y'all consistently keep saying. Then I thought about this because I was like, okay. Now, let me get into this. What is her name? Toya. So Toya, oh, that's the wrong one. Let me remove that. So Toya did an interview, y'all. And in her interview, and here it goes, she was actually asked about, let me just stop it. She was actually asked about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So she was asked about the first episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And y'all, is giving jealousy. Like, it's giving so much jealousy, and it's giving very much Mean Girls, that these Married to Medicine women just seem to be so mean, bitter, and just nasty. Like, we saw the way that they treated Phaedra, and it's just like, what is up with these women? But let's get into what Toya had to say about Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Did you watch the premiere of Atlanta?
I did.
You like it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I did. I like it a lot. It's a lot of Botox and fillers.
Oh, from who?
Which I am not.
Who's doing the?
So, just in case you guys missed it, he asked, had she watched Real Housewives of Atlanta? And she goes right into saying it's a lot of Botox with the ladies. It's like, what?
Most.
Man, I saw Nicki Minaj on there. I saw Lil' Kim.
Who's Nicki and who's Kim?
You know, them two ponytails, and the other one was like this smile that was like, it was like really.
Oh, they're not seeing the right doctors.
Yeah,
You guys
oh
could...
my
They have
God.
to get married to medicine.
I mean, Jackie's the only one that does, that gives fillers and Botox and stuff like that. But
And dissolvers, possibly.
I don't know what. But that was a lot for me.
Okay.
You know.
It looks like you're still recovering.
It was. It's
Okay.
a lot to watch. It made me feel like I was watching this beautiful black soap opera.
Okay.
So she says Real Housewives of Atlanta was like watching a beautiful black soap opera, because basically she's saying all she saw is Botox, as if y'all don't get Botox. Why are these women so bitter, mean, and ugly? Like, what? People don't like this show. I'm just being honest. Like, Married to Medicine needs a revamp or something. They need to go. You know, we saw this with Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we are seeing it now with Married to Medicine. But for some reason, people still like Real Housewives of Atlanta. But this is crazy, considering they are all under the same franchise, and you would think that they would send supportive words, but to be saying these type of things, it just, to me, don't make sense. So Britt Edie responded, and honestly, I thought one of the people she was talking to was Britt, because if I remember correctly, I thought Britt had the two ponies. I could be wrong, okay? So Britt says, it's unfortunate the ladies of Married to Medicine look to tear our show down, but always want support from the Black community. Lead by example. It gives Mean Girls or Salty. I have to agree, because Phaedra is gone off their show. I still wish them well, regardless of the hate. Now, I really got to agree with Britt, because it is giving nasty, mean, ugly girl. I mean, it's just giving too much. But it doesn't stop there, guys, because as you guys Britt has responded. She responded to that nasty comment that Toya made. But it's like, I'm just wondering, like, are they mad because, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, maybe their numbers are higher? Because I don't understand where this disdain is coming from and why are they so mad? But listen to this. Let's get into this. So Dr. Simone had the opportunity to do an interview with Andy. Now, if you guys recall, Phaedra is gone. Phaedra said these women, these doctors are nasty. Now, Phaedra said this, but now Phaedra is back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Dr. Simone sat down with Andy, and y'all listen to what she had to
Gave
say.
us an unnecessary and unfit heart.
Let me rewind that.
Phaedra gave us an unnecessary and unfit hard time.
Now, she said Phaedra gave her an unnecessary hard time. I don't know. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but from the viewers watching, it seemed like they gave her a hard time. I don't know if y'all would agree with this. Again, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but from everything I watched, it really seemed like Phaedra was the one that was getting the hard time. But hey, I understand.
I think she was ready to be back with Portia, ready to be back as frickin' frack. And so just say that, but don't leave out calling us mean.
So she says that Phaedra did all of this because she wanted to be back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, Phaedra hadn't been on Real Housewives of Atlanta for some time, and we all know that she was able to go because Kandi is no longer there. So saying that Phaedra was ready to leave, I think these women just, what is it about them that they don't take accountability or responsibility and they deflect everything on the other person? That's really ugly. Like, I wish they would stop.
Girls, when you're headed to the #1 mean girl.
And here's another thing. Did y'all get that? When you're headed to the #1 mean girl, why did Portia get thrown into something while minding the business that pays her? So she throws Portia under the bus for absolutely no reason, because Portia don't have nothing to do with this. I don't know how her issue with Phaedra becomes, I'm gonna throw Portia under the bus. If y'all can understand what I'm trying to get here is, are they mad because the Real Housewives of Atlanta numbers is almost double of theirs? And why are they calling these women out? Or could it be a situation where they're trying to give all of this negative publicity about Real Housewives of Atlanta because they want people to tune into their show? It's just not making sense. So, she throws Portia straight under the bus and then talks about when Portia drug Kenya off the couch. I'm like, girl, what?
Are you calling Portia the #1 mean girl?
She's mean. She's tried to fight on social media. She snatched Kenya down. You were there.
Whew, y'all, that is so, I don't get that. That was like way too much. I'm not sure why Portia was catching strays. I'm not even sure what Portia even has to do with any of this, but Portia apparently didn't like it either. And this is what Portia had to say. Hopefully I can read it. So let's just get into it. Portia goes, and she says, to be honest, the girls from Real Housewives of Atlanta has always supported the other Black shows on the network. And I gotta agree, like, y'all on the same network. And the fact that this is being said is just absolutely crazy to me. So Portia's like, listen, we support the other Black shows on the network. She says, and for me, definitely Married to Medicine, to see her as a Black woman talk about the features and pick apart Atlanta is really kind of sad. We may shade one another on our show, but we keep it in house. We haven't been out here tearing down someone else. Let's do better. Let's all win. Now, I gotta agree with Portia. I really do, because what? Like, y'all are on the same network. But it even gets crazier because now Toya is coming after Portia. Girl, stop. You called another Black woman ashy. Huh? I mean, not to mention you were a tad shady to our franchise under a Phaedra Parks post. You and I both know how these interviews go. I definitely started a balanced view of the good and the bad. Don't jump on the bandwagon. So I just started to think like, are they trying to do this to kind of, show some kind of friction back and forth, maybe with the franchise, so people can start watching? Which I'm like, y'all on the last episode. So I don't know, but this is what y'all need to know. And this is real. Look at these numbers. Like, as a matter of fact, let me just show y'all something even better. We don't even need to look at these anymore. Let me show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something else. Let's just look at the numbers. Let's look at Married to Medicine numbers because they are horrible. They are very, very bad. So we are down here, okay? And as I stated, the numbers get higher only when it's something extremely crazy. But if you look at the numbers, look, 459,000, their numbers are terrible. You see a few times it spiked up to 5, and that's when they did the absolute most. But if you guys look at their numbers, and then if you look at the Real Housewives of Atlanta numbers, they don't compare. So I'm just like, are they maybe also trying to maybe get people to tune in? Now, if you look at Real Housewives of Atlanta, I mean, we don't want to go back to 2008. That's just too far. So I had to keep scrolling because they were off for some time, but let's just look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers. Real Housewives of Atlanta been off for so long. Theirs is all, I mean, that's 2019. We don't want to look at that. But here we don't want to look at that. Let's keep going. Where did it go? Okay, here it is. So if you guys look at that one episode, that is like 723,000. That's kind of what I showed y'all. But if we look even at some of the other numbers, I mean, it was still a lot higher than there. So I don't know, what you guys think, but, from what I'm seeing is it seems like kind of what y'all said, that entire Simone and quad mess, that seems like that is friction that they are creating to secure themselves a spot and hope that they can come back, because this show is in the trash can. I mean, that is just the whole truth. We don't even know if they're going to be coming back. This show seems like it just may